Yeah. Whoa. I speak. We change lives, Jesus. I speak.
Welcome to the TP Masterclass. On behalf of Cliff Cheqona and the entire TP family, we're honored to have you here. You didn't just join a live session. You stepped into a transformational experience designed to help you master your mind, align your emotions, and trade with clarity and conviction. We'll be starting shortly. In the meantime, settle in and prepare your notepad. Like the stream, subscribe if you haven't already. And most importantly, invite someone who needs this. Because around here, we don't just trade, we transform. Let's get started soon.
I speak life, I speak spirit, we change lives, Jesus did it. I speak life, I speak spirit, we change lives, Jesus did it. Step into my Monday, I'm stepping to my Monday, I'm stepping to my Monday. We change lives, Jesus did it. I'm stepping to my Monday, I'm stepping to my Monday, I'm stepping to my Monday. We change lives.
What is the TP family, and how do you become part of it? Don't worry, if you're watching this, you're already part of the TP family. Now, before you ask, no, it's not take profit. That's the first thing traders think, right? TP stands for Trading Psychology. When Cliff Cheqona created this community, he didn't want to make it all about himself. He wanted to create a space for traders built around a simple truth. Most traders lose because their mindset isn't ready for success. So what's the TP family? It's not a company. It's not an organization. It's a movement of traders who are done chasing shortcuts, done trading emotionally, and done feeling like they're alone in this journey. Now, let me be clear. We're not here to build another Telegram or Discord group. You don't need more chats or endless notifications. All you have to do is follow our content on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. That's where we deliver everything. Masterclasses, podcast clips, mindset tips, and even those hard truths no one else will tell you about trading. Our vision for 2025 is simple: education. We teach traders what really matters, not just strategies, but the mindset behind them. Through our TP Masterclass, podcasts, and content, we make sure traders know how to manage themselves first. Community. The TP family is all about connection, but instead of chat rooms, we meet through meaningful content that actually helps you grow. Tools. We're creating journals, simulations, and practical resources to help you track your progress and improve your trading behavior. The TP family is here to change the way traders think forever. We're not about quick wins. We're about creating strong, resilient, unstoppable traders. Welcome to the movement. Let's make 2025 the year you fix your mind and fix your trading.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game.
Hi, TP family. Hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. Hello, everyone. Good evening. How's everyone doing? Welcome back. And once again, happy New Year. Because I know we posted graphic to wish everyone Happy New Year. So Happy New Year. Welcome to 2026. I am so glad. I am so excited for this new year because there's so much more that we are about to achieve this year alone. And I'm so grateful to be experiencing it with everyone on this platform right now. I'm Tennyson Shells as always, and it feels very good to be back together after the festive break that we had. How was everyone doing during those times? Did you take an extra time to go through your materials that you learned in 2025, or like what did you do? But before we get into anything, I want us to reset the room for 2026. because we are coming back with new focus, new discipline, and same growth with all the gems that we got in 2025. And also remember to drop where you are tuning in from or joining from in the comment section. And I'm going to shout out a few of you, whether you're from Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa. I see everyone, and thank you so much for always tuning into the TV Masterclass all the way from last year till now. You are still here, and I'm very appreciative of everyone that has been joining us so far. And if you are watching the replay of this TV Masterclass, our first TP Masterclass for the year 2026, drop in the comment section replay 2026 so that we will know that you were here tuning in from the beginning of the stream all the way to the end. And before I forget, as we step into the new year, we also did what we call the retreat, the end of year retreat. Did everyone participate in it? How was your retreat? I'm gonna read some comments session. So if you did do the retreat that we posted on our platforms, let me know how it was in the comments. Whether you're tuning in on Facebook or Instagram, you can also put it in the comment section so that we will be able to see everyone's retreat, um how it went for them. Okay, so everyone talking about important of knowledge. Happy New Year 2026. I'm just giving a bit of time so that I can get some of the comments on how everyone retreat was. So just let me know in the comment section below, and then I will get back to it. So I'm just gonna move on for now. And because this is the new year 2026, if this is your first time joining the TP family or joining the TP Masterclass for the very first time in 2026, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. And yes, thank you so much for joining us. And I want to say a big welcome to you, as this is not just a class, this is a family, and we are glad that you found us. And because this is your first time here, you're probably wondering where to start from on our platform on YouTube. And I just want you to go right on our playlist on YouTube, click on Cliff Cheqona, and then click on the playlist. You should see a playlist with all our previous TP Masterclass. You just click on the video title, What is Really Trading Psychology, as that video will help you understand what TP Family is really about, what we achieved last year, and what type of education that you receive once you join the TP Family. Okay, so make sure you go on the website, make sure that you click on the playlist, and make sure you find the video on the YouTube, and then look for the video, What is Really Trading Psychology. Okay, and another thing is, since last year we were posting what we call the TP declaration on our community tab on YouTube, but then we moved it to the cliffshikona.com website. So from Monday to Friday, we post what we call the TP declaration. It's a picture with few powerful words written on it. When you go on the website, make sure that you read it out loud. As we did build that habit last year, we are going to continue it this year to 2026. Okay, so make sure that you read it out loud. You align yourself with the market, because new year comes with new news that will be announced as the trading week goes by. So make sure that you are declaring this declaration on yourself. And then, yeah, so make sure that you don't miss it. Before we get into the main education for today, I want us to take a moment, wherever you are, just breathe in and remove every distraction in your environment. Make sure that you are in a very quiet place because this is our first ever session for the year 2026, and I wouldn't want you to be distracted or doing something else. I want you to be in the moment, be with us, and don't just watch us. I want you to take notes, because this is TP Masterclass. It's a masterclass. You are here to learn something. So make sure that you are grabbing your notebook, your journal, your pen, paper, whatever that you use to take notes. Make sure that you are grabbing that, and you are coming back here with a clear mind to with a clear mind. Yes, so that you can take notes and not be all over the place once we start teaching for today. And one quick serious reminder is, throughout last year, we did build this space for healing, clarity, and truth. Is still the same. We are still preaching the same message. We are not here to spam or distract others or anything. So make sure that you are also not doing the same. Make sure that you are not putting anything that will distract others, that will spam others, that will, put someone off personally or as a group. So be mindful of everything that you are putting into the comment section. If it's a comment regarding the teaching that you are receiving, that's absolutely fine. But if it's out of place, make sure that you think twice before you comment on our live sessions. I don't want to talk too much. I want us to get into today's lessons. And yeah, stay tuned for more, and Happy New Year once again. Thank you, everyone.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fiction mind, fiction trading. Fiction mind, fiction trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fiction mind, fiction trading. Fiction mind, fiction trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fiction mind, fiction trading. Fiction mind, fiction trading.
Why we have habits segment and what it is. In TP Masterclass, we added habits segment because transformation is impossible without changing the patterns that shape your daily life. Habits are quiet forces that decide your performance. They determine how you prepare, how you think, how you react under pressure, and how consistent you become in any field: trading, entrepreneurship, or personal growth. This segment helps you understand what habits truly are, how your habits are formed subconsciously, the difference between habits that build you and habits that quietly destroy your progress, and the non-negotiable habits required to perform well in high-pressure environments. We included the habits segment because most people focus on goals, but forget that goals mean nothing if your habits are not aligned with them. This part of the masterclass teaches you how to build routines, systems, and behaviors that support your growth, not sabotage it. The aim is simple: if your habits change, your results will follow.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fiction mind, fiction trading. Fiction mind, fiction trading.
Right. Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, depending on where you are tuning in from. I just want to first of all start by saying a happy new year to each and every single person tuning in. Happy 2026. This year has started. And I know for most people, I would assume that every single person that tunes in every single week to our masterclasses, hopefully, or maybe your year started before 2026 even began. And what I mean by that is you are in a place of preparedness or preparation before going into the new year, where your mentality is already in sync and in flow with everything that you are trying to accomplish in the year of 2026. Now, that being said, even if that is not the case, that is absolutely fine. The best time to start was yesterday. the second best time to start is right now. And sometimes that might be the case for a lot of people. So the best time to start is right now. Why I say this is because what a better time. There's no other time like right now to really align your focus, align your mind, and really just energize yourself into a place where you can now become really, really focused on what matters the most when it comes to your goals. All right. I love that video earlier, as it really just basically outlines pretty much what this habit segment is all about. It's all about aligning your identity, your habits with what it is that you are actually trying to achieve. All right. And another key thing that I would like to highlight from that previous video, which is a great video, by the way, but it speaks about three things, three types of individuals. Okay. And this is kind of where we're basically heading. This is where I'm going to be expanding, God willing, this segment into. So we spoke about trading. We also spoke about entrepreneurship, and we also spoke about personal growth. Now, to be honest, you can really dive deep into many different realms and many different aspects of that. But what that basically says is that, yes, this is the trading psychology masterclass, a TP masterclass, right? But it's not limited to trading. Does that make sense? So you can use and utilize a lot of these principles that we're going to be discussing every single day, every single week in, week out, the habits that we're going to be doing, the activities that we're going to be following each other with. We can use a lot of these things, all of these principles into our daily lives, become better and consistent as a person to really elevate ourselves into the places that we're trying to go and the people that we are trying to become in 2026. All right. So that being said, my name is Willis Aromi, and yeah, we'll get started. We'll get fired away into our segment of the day, which is the habit formation, specifically habits when it comes to trading. I thought the best thing to do as the first masterclass or the first segment for habit formation in 2026 will be a bit more of a foundation, right? To kind of outline the platform, to remind every single person of what this is all about, all right? Because I think sometimes we can get into what I would describe to be a bit complex, or sometimes to be a bit abstract. But I think it's also important to have clarity, okay? It's also important to have clarity when you're doing things and when you're explaining things, especially for every single person. Sometimes it might be the person that is a bit burnt out, right? But it's really important to gain clarity in everything that you're doing, especially when it comes to habits. When it comes to habits, you might feel like you're in a place of everything is just a little bit just too chaotic. My life is a bit chaotic. Everything is sporadic. It's all over the place. The worst thing you can potentially do in that situation is to talk about the issues. Yes, maybe you can outline the things that is on your mind. I think that's a good habit to have, to journal them or just write them on a sheet of paper so that it's not just up here, it's on a sheet of paper. But I think what's important is to look at the things that you're doing really well. Look at the things that you're doing really well, hone in on them, identify them, and build from there. This is basically a lot of what we're speaking about when it comes to habits. But with that being said, let's dive straight into today's habit formation segment. So, habits in trading. So when it comes to habits in trading, I think it's important to outline that it's mainly to do with transformation, okay? We are here to basically transform minds. It is really hard to try to achieve something that is basically outside of you. I think oftentimes we might obtain things, but in our obtaining of things, we don't often keep it for very long. Okay, what do I mean? There's instances where you might have some money, or you might have obtained some money. Look, it might have even been a gift from somebody. Somebody donated you or gave you a large sum of money, but because of your lack of transformed mind or your mindset, the money was squandered. You were not able to stretch it. You were not able to invest it. You were not able to plant that as a seed, a good seed and a good investment. Or maybe when it comes to trading, you were not able to plant that in such a way that will bring profitable returns, right? But instead, rather than maybe investing in your transformation or transforming your mind, you decided to trust in yourself, or your current self, should I say. It's happened to me so many times. So the most important thing to remind you of is transformation. It starts with patterns. Okay, it starts with patterns. In this masterclass, okay, what we are going to be doing is really talking about the transformational aspects of things. But here's the exciting part: we're going to be doing a lot more this year. All right. We're going to be doing a lot more practical things this year. It's something that I'm personally taking upon myself to make sure that I'm tracking my wins and my consistency so every single person can see consistently. Why? Because I know that in order for me to achieve the type of goals that I want, accountability is certainly necessary. And I'm going to be getting you guys to hold me accountable to a lot of things this year. All right. So let's continue. But we're going to be covering pretty much, let's just say maybe 7 to 8 points today or tonight when it comes to the habit formation in trading and certain areas. All right. So let's dive straight into it. So the main idea when it comes to trading and habit formation is that a trader does not rise to their habits or the habits that they operate within. Okay. Let me say that, let me clarify that. A trader does not rise above the habits that they operate in. Okay. So which means, and I've said this numerous amount of times, but I'm going to clarify it right now. If you are somebody who struggles with giving, it's going to show up in your trading. If you're somebody who struggles with investing, it will show up in your trading. If you're somebody who struggles with patience, it's going to show up in your trading. So in other words, when we talk about, okay, well, success in trading, we are talking about, okay, well, the person who's patient enough to wait for the market to come to them or maybe to their entry point and then go to the direction that they're intending to go, right? Patience. If you're somebody that doesn't necessarily or usually function and operate in patience, or at least not very well, it's going to show up in your trading. So these things are inside of you, but they can be worked on, which is very important. Okay. Now, before this makes sense, habits must be aligned. Okay. In fact, the type of strategy that you need is a self strategy. You need a strategy for yourself that allows you to be consistent with the habits and with the goal that you're trying to achieve. So in other words, if you have a particular type of goal, you have a goal, right? And let's just say that goal is to, I don't know, the goal is to make sure that you drink 2 liters of water every single day. Okay. But the strategy that you're using is, okay, well, I need to make sure that I've got a 2-liter bottle on my desk or by my bedside every single day and make sure I finish it. But guess what? If you haven't already purchased that water, maybe the day before, or maybe you haven't purchased it a week's worth of water, or found a way to get your goal, or at least get your sort of cue on your way to that goal, then you've already lost it. It doesn't matter what your motivation is, right? So the strategy that you have and the habits, they must be aligned, okay? They must make sense in order for it to work, right? So let's continue. When we talk about habits, let's just define it really quickly. A habit is a repeated behavior that becomes automatic. It's a pattern that shapes your identity and your outcomes. The key word I'd love to underline if I could would have been identity, okay? It's like a two-way cycle. You've got identity, you've got habits. You can look at one or the other and it will tell you about the opposite. So if you look at the person's identity, how they talk, how they analyze things, how they speak, you know that that person's got a strong identity. You want to figure out, what is this person like in terms of their habits? This person speaks so eloquently. They believe a lot in what they say. And, you know, I want to find out a lot more about how they function, what goes on in their minds, what's their thought process in terms of why they're saying these things. This person cannot just speak from a place of randomness. They speak from a place of experience. Okay, what are their habits like? And vice versa. When you look at a person's habits, you know, okay, well, this person, I haven't really spoken to them, but I can see that very consistent. That they are a person that I really want to follow. I really want to speak to this person and sit them down and really understand, you know, who they really are, why they do what they do. Okay. So it's a bit like a two-way equation. When you look at somebody, how they speak or how they talk about their identity, or you can see that there's some sort of identity in them, you can really immediately relate it back to their habits, and vice versa. When you look at the habits, you can really figure out, okay, you know what, I have some sort of idea of how this person views themselves in their identity. So one more time, a habit is a repeated behavior that becomes automatic. It's a pattern that shapes your identity and your outcomes. Okay, let's look at a few things to break these things down. I know I've mentioned identity. okay, but you've got the word automatic. You do something without thinking, okay? I gave you the example about the water. When you have a goal, you're targeting to drink water consistently 2 liters a day, every single day. Does it mean you have to purchase a bottle off of Amazon? Okay, great. Maybe that's step number 1. Does it mean that maybe when you're at home, you have a fountain, you have a water dispenser, there's a lot of water at home? Do you need to rely on buying loads of crates of water from a wholesaler? Okay, what is it that you're going to do to align yourself with the goal so that eventually it just becomes automatic? You don't need to use a lot of thinking power in order to accomplish your goal. It's just you see the bottle, you pick it up, you start drinking it, you drink as much as you can throughout the entire day to get to your goal. Okay, emotional. Okay, your feelings that feel or weaken it. Okay, sometimes the action can actually fuel or weaken the desire that you're trying to achieve. Okay, oh, I need to go and buy some more water. You know what? Even these water is so heavy, right? Emotions. Okay, repetitive. Built through daily patterns, consistency, habits. Is it repetitive? Am I going to do it even when it gets boring? Am I still going to stick to it? Are you subscribing to the process? Identity forming. Okay, the more you repeat it, the more it becomes who you are, which I spoke about earlier. And last but not least, predictive. It has to basically be obvious. Okay, it has to be obvious. It has to be in your face. Sometimes we make the mistake of thinking, well, this is too easy. Let me go for the hard bit. But the reality is, if you can't do the simple things, you know, you're not really going to be able to manage the bigger things. That's the reality. Okay, so let's just basically be better stewards of our habits, even with the little things that it looks sometimes embarrassing, sometimes very tiny, but really those are the things that matter the most. Right? The reason why habits matter in life is because, and I've said this many times, that, you know, you can kind of agree or disagree with this statement, but this is a statement that I just thought of because it makes sense to me. But when you look at habits is almost like the lifeblood of everything that you're trying to achieve. Okay, you don't just achieve something. There's a pattern. There are habits that caused you to eventually get to a certain place. All right. I wanted to share something, but I'm not sure if I should share it. But I think I will share it. But let's just say, for instance, you were supposed to do something very bad. You did something very bad on Friday. Okay. You did something. This is a really vague example. You did something very bad on Friday. Let's just say I don't know, you stole something from the shop. Okay, probably a really bad example, but let's just say you took a drink from the shop, something that you did not pay for, and yeah, it is what it is. But what you often don't realize is that from Monday to Friday, there was a thought pattern, there was a thought process. Now, you might not have been thinking about that from Monday to Friday, but maybe there was something that happened on Monday that caused you to be in a particular emotion on Tuesday. You probably forgot it on Wednesday. The emotion probably came back on Thursday, and it triggered something on Friday, and then you stole the drink. They didn't just happen, right? But habits are the lifeblood of the type of results, or every type of results that you're trying to achieve. All right. Every results in any type of industry is a product of the individual's habits. It's not the intention. It does not matter about what you intend to do. Let's look at a few examples. Okay, and I love these examples, but we're speaking here about aviation as an example. It doesn't matter how ambitious the person is to fly from one destination to another. It really doesn't make a difference. The real key driver is the habits, the time that they've spent at aviation school. Have they passed all of their exams? Okay. Have they actually got the experience under their belt to actually fly the engine, to fly the plane? Right? Habits. Do you have the tendency to say, well, I know all I got to do is just manage the U wheel, and then just switch on all the switches and so on, and everything should be fine? Or are you really paying particular attention that if you move a little bit of an inch, you end up in a completely different city or a different country to the one that you're intending to go when you're flying? These are habits that are formed in aviation. Okay, let's look at other examples. You've got somebody who is a surgeon, a medical example. They follow strict routines because precision becomes a habit. It's not a mood. As today, you know what? I don't feel like cutting this person. I know it's a heart surgery, but I don't really like cutting this person here. Let me just do it at the side or the other side of the rib and I'll just get through it. It doesn't work like that. Okay. Sports examples, championships. We can go into so many different things when it comes to that, but I think I'm gonna restrict myself from that because I can go into different things, especially when it comes to football, right? But you got sports example. This is what really separates professional footballers from the amateurs: the way they do things, the way they eat, their health, their diet, the videos, the training, how their training is conducted, the language that the manager speaks. Okay, a business example: a successful businessman or woman does not succeed from motivation, but consistency in planning, reviewing, and executing their ideas. Are you a type of person that has an idea and it just sits in your mind? It gets digested, and before you know it, after the digestion is gone, you've forgotten about that idea. And then you see the exact same person on social media posting about that idea, becoming consistent at it, and they have a large following. Oh, I had that idea, but the issue is you didn't really execute the idea. You were too afraid in those moments. Okay. But in other words, habits have no respect of industry. It doesn't matter what it is, what industry, what task you're doing, the habits, they matter in everything, even for simple tasks. All right. When it comes to trading, what is the real source of trading failure? Okay. There's so many things we can dive deep into. The charts are neutral, strategies are neutral, the broker is a business. Okay. The broker is designed to function and operate how they were supposed to operate. It's not that the broker is against us or the broker was meant to trade against you or anything. They already had their agenda. There's already a structure in place for brokers. The same way that there's a structure of the market, the same way that there are strategies that are designed based on your level of understanding. Okay. But what are the different things in terms of failures? Over leveraging, over trading, over risking, closing trades a bit early, revenge trading. Okay. Trading when you are emotional. Okay. Checking your results. I love this one. Checking results too often. Are you somebody who's excited to see blues or just multiple different trades numbers? Right? When did we get to the point where that matters so much, where we can post to somebody online, probably people that don't really care, that I've got so many blues, right? Ignoring journaling. That was a big one for me for a very, very long time. Inconsistency and trading out of boredom. Okay? Your trading isn't losing. Your habits are the one that's winning. Some people might look at that statement and be very confused. What does that mean? It means that it's not about your strategy. It's not because of this strategy that's losing. It's actually your habits that are winning. In other words, it's your habits that are speaking louder. It's your habits that are telling you more about yourself than you really want to hear. All right? Let's continue. So, understanding what the habit loop is. As you progress, understand that we have 3 here, but it's pretty much 4, but I think it doesn't really necessarily matter. It's about the ordering. Okay, we have the cue, the routine, and then the reward. The cue is something that allows you to, how can I describe it? It's just like you have something that triggers you. It's right there anyway. It triggers you to think about something or think about what the thing should be like. An example could be, well, okay, wow, I've seen this this meal. This I'm just going to use an example. Last weekend I had a meal from a southern Asian country. Very, very, very nice. Now, every single time I see a bowl, like a ramen type of noodles or a bowl of noodles, I look at it and I'm like, wow, I remember the last time that I had that recently. It was excellent, right? I've got the cue. It's triggered me. Okay. Every single time now I'm driving past this particular area, I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm driving past this particular area. I've already got the idea. I'm driving past this particular area. One day that I'm stopped off at that particular area, do I get the feeling to want to go and purchase that thing. That's just one of various different examples, okay? Which is the exact same thing when it comes to trading, all right? Let's talk about some other things here. So we've got essential habits when it comes to trading. We've got pre-market mindset or pre-market mindset reset, okay? 5 minutes of clarity and, 5 minutes of clarity and internal stability. The reason I love this, and to bear in mind, it says 5 minutes here, something that I do personally in my trading, I make sure that if I haven't had maybe 30 minutes of my time before I go into like the session to start trading, I don't bother trading for that time. Now, every single time that I've traded or I've decided to go into a session and I haven't spent 30 minutes before that, I don't feel great for a number of reasons. Number one, it might be that I don't feel great because, I don't know, I just don't feel great because maybe I might have made some money in that session, but I knew that I haven't done or followed the process accordingly. And I know that it's going to come to bite me another time because it's like my mind is satisfied with, I haven't done much work and I've got this type of result. The day it comes to bite me, I've got nothing to stand on because I'm not in the full mood of processing or journaling in that particular moment because I didn't do it the previous day, right? So I make sure that I align myself, okay? I make sure that my mentality is in a stable place. If I'm in any way, shape or form tired or upset, I don't trade, all right? But this is just an example. You get your place into a mindset before you get into the market. What are some other habits we're going to talk about? Okay, fixed risk per trade. Okay, having a set risk per trade. Is it every single time you can no longer trade more than 1%? Is it a particular amount according to the size of your account? Let's just say you have $10,000 in your account, right? But every single trade that I'm going to place, I can't risk more than say $50 or $100 per trade. Okay, whatever it is, the particular strategy that you're trading. Okay, execute the plan without emotions. You see the market come into your entry, according to everything in your checklist, you execute. Oh, I wanted it to pull back a little bit, just a little bit, because if I do it from here, it's going to be a 1 to 3. No, just execute according to the plan. All right. Number 4, big one for me. I say a big one, and I'm going to be very transparent with you guys. There was a season in my trading. I think I'm coming into my 6th year of trading. Actually, funny enough, it's actually quite weird, but exciting. Weird in an exciting way. But there was a time where I was just not journaling at all, and I kept on putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. When I get my strategy consistently, then I'll start journaling. But then when I started journaling is when I had a consistent strategy. Okay, it just happened in that way, right? Journal every single trade, but just journal for yourself as well. Just journal for yourself. Very important. That's what I did. I did both. I journaled for myself, but I also journaled every single trade. I spoke about my trade. Now, here's one important thing I want to touch on when it comes to journaling. When it comes to journaling, make it in such a way where you do not necessarily have to have paragraphs upon paragraphs upon paragraphs, because that's something that I did for, I think, consistently. I journaled every single day, right? Every single day. And then on my trading days, I journaled every day as well. But every single day I was actually writing, I was journaling my thoughts and everything. I did it every single day. There were days where I had maybe 3 or 4 pages for one day. There were days where I had 1 page consistently. But how about this? Maybe you time your journaling. I'm journaling for no longer than 15 minutes. Okay. How I'm feeling in that moment, any thought that comes to my mind in that time, I'm going to write it down. Okay. Journaling. Number 5, no trading under emotional distress. I think I've kind of touched on that in point number 1. Okay. So if you're stressed in a particular way, there's no point. Yes, journal that, identify that. Maybe you might want to take a few risks here and there, but that should really teach you a lesson to never do it again. All right. Number 6, shut down routine. What is your routine to limit yourself from taking an extra trade? That's something that I'm going to be highly focusing on this year. Okay. Am I going to be executing the trade and then feeling stuck that, oh, you know what? It's another opportunity. Just take it. Okay. I'm going to have to limit myself very often now. 1 trade a day, right? Or maybe 2 trades a day. This is just an example for everyone. Okay, last but not least, weekly performance review. This is something that I did. Quarterly reviews. I didn't really do a weekly performance review, but every single quarter I analyze who I am, my performances, my behaviors, the things that I've learned over the last quarter. It says a lot about me, the effort that I have to put in, the research I have to do, all of the notes that I have to gather from the last couple of months. I put it all into a document and I analyze myself, and it's like a mirror. It's a reflection. It tells you a lot about yourself and also the person that you're trying to become as well. All right. Let's continue. All right. I just want every single person to be reminded of what the purpose of this segment is, because I think oftentimes we can be lost in, okay, all I need to do is get the habits. Once my habits in flow and order, then everything will be successful. Yes, that's essentially what it's all about. That's basically what it's all about. However, your habits are not outside of you, they're inside of you. So in other words, it's best that we identify the things that are in us, right? And try to make some changes from there on. But it's like I said at the beginning of this session, I said that find out if your life is chaotic, find out the things that you want to hone in on, the things that you're probably good at right now as we speak. Are there certain things in your life, certain areas of your life where you think, you know what, last year was really tough. There were so many things. We can talk about a range and a variety of different things. Unfortunately, some people may have lost some loved ones last year. But one of the things that they will maybe consistent on is being the strongest person in the room to check up on other people that have also lost the same person. Does that make sense? The power of communication. The thing is, if we don't begin to think like this, things become tough. It's very easy to just focus on the negative, focus on the issues every single time. Yes, these issues exist, but how can we now put everything on a sheet of paper, identify the things that are pushing us forward, and really hone in on those things and improve them and get better and better at them. Okay, and this is the whole purpose of habits. This is the whole point of habits. As a trader, as a person, as an individual, as an entrepreneur, as a person who's trying to develop themselves to become a better and consistent person as well. All right. But what is the purpose of this segment? Okay, to help you to practice everything, not just what Cliff teaches, but everything that I teach, everything that Kemma will teach, everything that every single person who comes on this masterclass will teach moving forward from the TP masterclass. Okay, it's to help you to translate knowledge into something of repetition. Repetition will be your reputation. All right. It's also to help you build consistency in your daily life. It's to help you break destructive patterns and to support you through a process of accountability. And this is the reason why I said earlier on this class, on this masterclass, that how wonderful will it be for everybody to be in sync, to do the same thing. Something for me as more of a personal goal is I would used to call myself an avid cycler or an avid runner. I used to love to cycle. I cycle everywhere, right? Since becoming, a husband and a dad, I think it's changed a lot. Not just because I've let myself go, but I think just because of time and being busy. But now, with certain things, I have to now make sure that I'm doing things consistently. Okay, every single week, how many times can I cycle? Okay, is cycling a part of my exercise? Okay, how many times can I go to the gym? Am I running every single day? Okay, no, if it's twice a week, how can I be held accountable for running twice a week consistently? How do you think that's going to help somebody else? Because somebody else who's struggling with consistency can see that it's actually possible. There's now no longer an excuse. There's no longer an excuse for somebody to say that, oh, I don't know how to become consistent. You know how to become consistent. You've got the information, it's written. Okay, but now I don't have an example to walk with me. I'm going to show you from scratch, from the start. Somebody, yes, who might have the experience of being consistent, but it's more about, okay, well, I'm nobody. let's just look at it from a perspective of, well, I'm nobody. I'm just the beginning, like every single person. I'm starting this journey as much as most people are. All right. So these are the things that we have designed to basically help each and every single person. So the next thing is, when a trader builds new habits, these are some of the things that you will begin to see. So you begin to see things like emotional stability increase. Things such as your state of mind is just like this: constant, constant, constant. Your state of mind is just constant. Is it trading? Great. It's constant. Wins or losses? It's constant. On social media, a lot of the time we have something called the nonchalant challenge. I find it really funny because basically the example used is when somebody goes into a lift, and as they go into the lift, by the time the lift is just about to shut, they're just going in and they're not afraid of the lift about to shut them through the little gap that's left open. They're just doing it casually, right? That's what we should be. That's how we should become when it comes to our trading journey this year. We should become nonchalant. Is it a win? Oh, great. Is it going to hit my stop loss? Okay, no problem. I just want to make sure that this trade closes quickly. If it has to go to my take profit or my stop loss, just do what you've got to do so I can just shut the window down and go into the next day and progress and continue with all of the rest of my activities. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I'm holding this trade for a couple of hours time. It's a longer term trade. It's a swing trade. Okay. Well, great. So I'm going to be holding this particular trade, but I really want this trade to close or find some sort of outcome so I don't have to think about this trade. Okay. Oh, I'm going to be holding a trade for an entire week. Okay, great. Well, let's see how this goes. Maybe I'll place the trade on Monday. By maybe Wednesday, by Thursday. Okay, on Wednesday we have CPI. Okay. Hopefully some sort of reaction based on how I've analyzed this trade will take place by Wednesday, by Thursday or something. And I don't have to think about trading ever again. Okay, nonchalant. All right. And then you've got execution improvements. Your execution or your level of execution, your precision will begin to improve. Your discipline becomes automatic. You no longer need to think about, you no longer need to think about how you're going to become disciplined because it becomes a part of you. Something that I heard today whilst I was just listening to a podcast is you want to get to a place where a certain type of discipline becomes normal. What does that look like? It means no longer are we talking about, oh, I need to be a disciplined trader as this type of shiny object. No, we need to look at it as this is normal. This community has to be, we have to basically normalize what is consistent. We shouldn't be questioning. In fact, if somebody comes into our community who's brand new and says, consistency, how does it work? We're just going to be hearing testimonies of people. Oh, I've been a part of this TP Masterclass now for, I think, about 1 year. I've been following the sessions every single time for about 6 months, for about a couple of weeks. And this is fine. This is normal. I've done it for 3 weeks and my mentality has changed. Right? And then your results, they will basically change permanently. Another thing that I highlighted when I was listening to that podcast was this, is that when it comes to change, it doesn't have to be seasonal. Oftentimes we think about, okay, well, I'm going to be doing this for 30 days, for 60 days, for 90 days, right? And then what happens after the 90 days? Great. Scientifically, or maybe it's proven that after 60 days, it proves that it takes 60 days to build a habit. Great. Well, it takes 1 day to break the habit as well. So why don't we pursue consistency as a lifestyle? Okay, maybe those 60 days I was building that habit, it was great, but I did not enjoy it. Okay, so what are certain things that you can actually do to make sure that you're going to enjoy the type of habit that you're trying to pursue lifelong? All right. So, and this is what I just wanted to share with every single person. It's important that we really focus on our habits this year, but most importantly, this is something that I want to pursue with every single person. It's more like a journey, okay? A journey for every single person to recognize that our habits, number one, are not outside of us, they're in us. So if there are habits that we need to improve, it starts with having that transformed mind, transforming your mind and making that decision to say, okay, well, enough is enough. But also, what does enough is enough look like? If enough is enough was a person, And I was that person. What does it look like? Does it mean now I need to put this certain habit in place? Does it now mean that if I'm trying to be consistent in my journaling, I need to make sure I have my book out? The first thing that I do when I wake up is I journal. If I had something in my mind, if I have an idea, I journal at a particular time every single day. These are the things that we need to put in place. But I'm really excited to go through this journey with you guys. It's going to be a lot different. God willing, we're going to be doing so many exciting things. Stay tuned. And if you are brand new to the TP Masterclass and this is your first time on this segment or on this masterclass, I just also want to say welcome. And, I'm really excited for what's to come throughout 2026. With that being said, God bless. And I'll see you guys on the next segment. Bye-bye.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading.
What TP Masterclass really is. TP Masterclass is a transformation masterclass that happens every Saturday. It is designed to reshape the way you think, the way you respond, and the way you perform, not just in trading, but in any industry where your mind plays a major role. Even though anyone can benefit from it, the majority of people you'll find here are traders. Why? Because trading is one of the few fields where your mindset, your emotions, and your discipline are tested every single day. Every session blends psychological lessons that help you understand your thinking and your behavior, spiritual lessons that strengthen your inner conviction and identity, practical lessons that give you structure and direction in real life. TP Masterclass exists because most people don't fail due to lack of skill. They fail because their mindset is not prepared for the level they are trying to reach. This masterclass equips you with the mental strength, emotional stability, and clarity needed to perform at a high level, whether you are a trader, an entrepreneur, or someone trying to grow in life.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading.
Now that you guys are sitting here, I am not teaching you. You are using me to learn you, because psychology is not what I teach you. It's what you learn about you. As a trader, your mindset plays an important role. Because when your brain is exhausted, your emotions will spike. If your emotions spike, your decisions will swift. It's a law. In trading, the person that is able to say I'm wrong quickly is the one that makes the money. I'm wrong. Cut it. Don't even think twice. Cut it. But you see, that is where those four guys that I explained to you, the dopamine guy and then the amygdala guy, you need to shut them down immediately. And how do you do that? You don't beat a thought by thinking. If you think with these guys, you will fail. When you don't counterattack thoughts that has grown in your mind, it will become your behavior. Why? Because behavior is a belief system. Consistency comes from a system, not from a feeling. Consistency comes from a structure, not from a feeling. And so if you trade because you are broke and you need to make money, you won't make money. You have to put all feelings, all desires, all expectations aside and stick to the system. You see, the you that you make the public think you are is not the one behind the strategy. The you that you make Cliff think you are is not the one behind the strategy. It is the you that nobody knows, the one that if in case we were putting a secret camera on you, we will be surprised. Do you know why? Because that you is everything opposite to who a trader is meant to be. There is something in your brain called neural pathways. And when it goes through a process that changes your wiring, it's called neuroplasticity. That means the weak you can become strong again. And you see, the only way you can rewire your mind is what goes in, not what you ignore. The more you get something in, the more something leave. And the more something leave, the more you become. If you pick up a book and you are reading, the more books you pick up and read, the more ignorance leaves your body and your mind. Your brain is like a baby. You need to train it. So you are a failure. I am not a failure. Maybe right now I'm not getting the results I'm looking for, but I am not a failure. When you speak, it contradicts what your brain is doing. You have been watching social media, addicted to it for 5 years, and you think that mind can trade easily? No, chief. It's not easy. You are going to make it, but you are going to have to understand that these things will hijack you. Wherever you are right now,
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading.
What TP Masterclass really is. TP Masterclass is a transformation masterclass that happens every Saturday. It is designed to reshape the way you think, the way you respond, and the way you perform, not just in trading, but in any industry where your mind plays a major role. Even though anyone can benefit from it, the majority of people you'll find here are traders. Why? Because trading is one of the few fields where your mindset, your emotions, and your discipline are tested every single day. Every session blends psychological lessons that help you understand your thinking and your behavior, spiritual lessons that strengthen your inner conviction and identity, practical lessons that give you structure and direction in real life. TP Masterclass exists because most people don't fail due to lack of skill. They fail because their mindset is not prepared for the level they are trying to reach. This masterclass equips you with the mental strength, emotional stability, and clarity needed to perform at a high level. Whether you
All right. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, TP family. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope today you came with the right capacity to receive. Before we even talk about education, I just want you guys to know that this year truly is going to be a year of new status. I truly believe this, and you guys, some of you guys who have been following us everywhere, I'm sure you know now that we have released that declarative words, not just so that you can read it, but to do something to your mind. But Happy New Year. I just want to say shout out to each and every single person tuning in right now. If you know somebody needs to be on this live and they are not here yet, kindly just invite them. We are about to learn something very powerful today, but we're going to be doing the honors by saying hello to each and every single person in the comment section right now. With that all being said, let me know, can we bring up some people on the screen right now? Let me know where you're tuning in from. And then I can just say hello to you. I do these things because time zones varies on these masterclasses. Some people can tune in all the way from India. And even though it's very late in their location, they still stay. And it is my job to make sure that I'm saying hello to you for you to know I see you. If you're watching us from YouTube, congratulations for being here. Nigeria in the house. If you're on Instagram, thank you for joining. Who else do we have on the stream? Who else do we have? We have Nigeria in the house. Who else is out there? So as you guys can know, Happy New Year from, okay, I'm going to skip that one. I'm just going to go with Nigeria. I didn't want to mess up the name. Gambia in the house. Who else do we have out there? We have, okay, Priceless from the great Nigeria. Definitely from the great Nigeria. Italy in the house. Nice to be here as well, Italy. All the way from Europe. Everest from Belarus. But you are a Nigerian. Seriousno? Shieta Paruski? Can you get back to the person from Belarus? Let me ask you. Let me talk to you for a second. Okay, so what is your name? Wealth Wave? Harashio. Okay, anyways, let's go to the next person. Nice to meet you. Who else do we have out there? We have Kim from Ghana. Kim Carroll, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Today's going to be Uganda in the house. Thank you so much for joining. Do we have any other country out? Lesotho. Let me keep quiet. I was just trying to guess where it is, basically. Togo in the house. Togo, you guys speak French, yeah? We? Okay. So who else? Do we have Zambia in the house? Do we have any other weird country somewhere else? When I say weird, I mean too far from the time zone right now. Who else do we have out there? All right, guys, CP family, normally on these master classes, as you can tell, we vary in different locations. We have Botswana, we have so many different places. From the UAE, we have people from Europe, we have people from Asia, and so on and so forth. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you all from the bottom of my heart. On behalf of TP family, I just want to say Happy New Year to you all. Before we go into today's masterclass, I want to do the honors by talking about something very, very, very important. So during the season of when we were coming into this year, please kindly just listen to me. Okay, so let me go all the way to Instagram right now, so because I want to honor them as well. So Instagram currently right now, I can see that we have people from Ghana, we have people from Nigeria, we have South Tanzania. Nice to meet you all. So I see internet router services from Tanzania. Okay, nice to meet you. Thank you guys for joining. God bless you all. Okay, so we're gonna go straight into it. I don't want to take too much of you guys' time because we have a lot of things to learn today. So let's get into business, straightforward. Okay, few announcements, and I will do that maybe after the masterclass when I'm done teaching, but I want to go straight into something. So as you guys can see, I posted on as you guys can see today, I mean business, so I'm not sitting down, yeah? Today I said I'm gonna stand to teach the things I want to teach. Yeah. Anyway, our new status. That is not my topic for today, but I want to do the honors by letting us understand that we are not just people. I want you guys to understand something very important. You need to be able to understand that as a community, especially here in TP family, we are not trying to learn. We are not trying to pretend we are learning. We are not trying to act like we have learned. We are people that actually genuinely want to learn. And in order for you to learn in any dimension in your life, there are a few things that you need to participate in. Number one, you need to be ready to unlearn. You need to be ready to relearn, and you need to be ready to keep learning. As an individual, if these three things or this behavior is not in your life, chances are excellent that you will not survive in the space of knowledge. Unlearn, relearn, and then keep learning. And so many people here, I'm sure that before you started with us in 2025, there were certain things you didn't know, both in trading and also in your own personal life, when it comes to education wise. And I'm using, number one, my 13 plus years of experience. We are going into the 14 plus years now, soon to be. But we are almost hitting 14 years in this industry, in the financial market, together with my science background and also my spiritual background as an individual who believes in Jesus unapologetically. We are helping you guys to be able to understand that you can be transformed. So if you look at the name of the masterclass, it's called TP Masterclass. TP Masterclass simply means Trading Psychology Masterclass. However, when we do teach you, we are trying to bring out the best within you to be able to transform and perform. So there is a transformation and performance in the information we give you. And so what you will realize is that, yes, we may teach you and talk to you as a trader, but as Shells was saying in one of the videos, we want you to understand that you can apply that knowledge everywhere you are. And so trading psychology is not just for traders, because within those messages, you can transform your life, your mindset, and it will lead you to greater performance. Does that make sense? And so entering into this year, last year, our word for the year last year was focus, following one course until success. So we're doing the same thing over and over again until we know that, yes, we are focusing on transformation. This year, our word is new status, our year of new status. And I want to quickly take you through why is our year of new status. This came out of a space of prayer, obviously. I will never be able to do these things if God is not on my side. So during prayers and listening and meditating, this direction came that this is our year of new status. So it is not just my year of new status, it's also your year of new status. And I posted a declaration and I hope that you received it. It is truly going to be your year of new status. I truly believe this for each and every single person on this stream listening to me right now. But I quickly want to let you understand that when the Holy Spirit highlights a word and he says, this is your new status, it's a legal position. So I'm going to list 5 dimensions. I'm going to run through it quickly. I'm not going to touch upon it. And then we will declare the word upon ourselves. And then we will basically just hit straight into today's topic I have for you today. There are 5 dimensions when it comes to status from this direction as where we are going as TP family. Number 1 is legal status. Legal status here is your authorized identity in the spiritual realm. Now, I've explained this many times, and many of you understand this. And when we talk about spirit or spiritual realm, we are not necessarily talking about witches, warlocks, as people always put their mind on. We are talking about anything you cannot be able to use your eyes to see, but you can't deny their existence. So I normally give this example that you are listening to me right now, and you are across, you are in Italy, Botswana, Tanzania. You can hear me. Not because my voice is so loud all the way down to Tanzania, but it's because of something called internet. You can't see it around me, but you can't deny the force and the existence of it. So it is a spiritual effect that is making you see me. The same way, if we are going to become anybody in this world, there are certain things that needs to be in place spiritually. Life is spiritual. I don't care whoever you think you are, whether you are a believer or you are not, you can't deny the fact that there are spiritual affairs that moves life. And so in this case right now, our legal status in the realm of the spirit is changing, meaning the way we approach life spiritually is changing. Dimension number 1 is our legal status. Dimension number 2 is our social status, meaning that how people will perceive you is changing. If many years ago they used to see you as the guy doing trading thing, wasting his life, this year is changing. Your social status, the way people perceive you is changing, meaning that the way they used to see you as, well, this guy is not going to mount up to anything. That perception is changing. Does that make sense? So number 1, 5 dimensions of why we are accepting that our status is changing. Number 1 is legal status. Is changing. The way we operate in the realm of the spirit is changing. Number two, our social status is changing. The way people perceive you and the way you are accepted socially is changing. It's changing because several information is going to come into your mind. Several behaviors and habits is going to change this year, and that will attract people. There is a very beautiful Bible verse that says, if you want to have friends, you need to first show yourself friendly. So if last year you were like, nobody likes me, well, this year start liking somebody. Your status is changing. Number three, what is the third dimension that we believe our status is changing? Number three is economic status. This year, your economic status is changing. It is not just going to be like business like yesterday. Truly, by the information, by the understanding, the community, the things we are going to be doing this year, and the things you are going to be learning will contribute to your economic status change. Number four, your positional status. This is where your ranking in destiny assignments is changing. That means new responsibilities is coming your way, new authority, new mantle, new doors, new resource. And number five, internal status. Internal status. Internal status is your mindset, your identity, and then your self-perception. How you see yourself also matters. The way people see you may not necessarily really bother you. It may affect you. It may not bother you. That is fine. But if the way you see yourself is negative, it doesn't matter if it bothers you or not. It will affect you. So also number five is your internal status. Your internal status, your mindset, and your identity and self-perception is also changing. And there are several things that you need to understand when it comes to your status changing. If truly your status is changing, then you need to be able to understand that you are going to start hearing unusual instructions within your spirit from God. He's going to start telling you to do certain things you wouldn't be comfortable doing. Because if you are going to go into the next level, then you cannot be able to contain a new wine and put it in an old wineskin. That means uncomfortable situations will arise and you have to deal with it. What else do you need to know? Uncomfortable adjustment. That means you are going to physically do certain things you didn't used to do. Even if you don't have money to go to the gym, you are probably going to have to start by doing some push-ups at home. Uncomfortable situations will happen in your life, and you need to understand it is not negative. Something is happening. Does that make sense? New opportunities is going to come to you, and it's going to be unusual. People will start inviting you to places that normally you wouldn't go. But this time you need to start going because you truly believe your status is changing. And so all these things are things I want you guys to have it in mind as a TP family member, that this year is our year of new status. And if they ask you, why do you believe so much that your status is changing? You will tell yourself and to the people, because I am a TP family member and I truly believe I am being transformed and my performance is going to the roof. So wherever you are right now, before we go into this session for today, if you believe the things I'm telling you, and if you truly believe you have entered a year of a new status, I want you to declare to yourself wherever you are and tell yourself my status is changing. Wherever you are right now, tell yourself that my status is changing. 2026, my status is changing. My mindset status is changing. My behavior status is changing. My economic status is changing. My ranking in assignment status is changing. Your status is changing. Are you with me? Your status is changing. As TP family members, you need to have a superior belief system. Truly, your status is changing. If last year things didn't work, don't think about last year. Focus on this year. What can you do differently that you couldn't do last year? Your status is changing. And one of the things I said on the fifth dimension of the status, I said that if truly your status is changing, number five is internal status. Your mindset, your self-perception, and then your identity. And that brings me to the journey of the first few weeks of this year, the things we are going to start learning. I'm going to take you guys through it before we take it out from there. Is that okay? Okay. I'm going to start teaching you something right now. But before I will go into my topic, I want to tell you something. What I'm about to teach you today is deep, is layered, is very defensive, and is emotionally protected. This topic was on my heart since last year. The last masterclass we did, I told you guys, let me ask this question right now. Let me see if there are core TP family members. On the last masterclass that we closed, what was the topic I said we were going to learn in the beginning of this year? Does anybody know? Can we drop it in the comment section for me? We said we're going to learn something this year in the beginning. Does anybody know? Can we bring it up? I'm going this topic for today. Even me, myself, it has challenged me. If somebody put the topic in a comment, can you please bring it up? I want to see if people remember what we said. It helps a lot to know that we are in sync and making sure the knowledge we are receiving is going into next by step. Does that make sense? So when you find the answer, let me know. Does anybody know? Do you know what I said we're going to study by the beginning of this year? The first topic I said we'll be looking at. If you remember, put it in the comment, and then we're going to bring it up on the screen. While I'm preparing to talk about that topic, the reason why I'm about to teach this is because this topic is, first of all, this topic is going to be in a series. The last time we did a series was in 2025. This year, we are also going to focus on another series. And we're going to start it with this because it contributes to your status changing. Are you with me? Very important that you understand this. All right. So this topic is going to be in series because it's deep, it's layered, it's defensive, and it's emotionally protected. And then first of all, we are going to be doing it in such a way that I want you to think about this, that the reason why I'm breaking it down into series is because if I teach it just in one masterclass, it will only motivate you, but it will not transform you. And in this year, one of the things that I told myself I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking things step by step, meaning it's going to be in the form of a curriculum. That means I can teach you the theoretical part of my teachings. I will come the next Saturday and we'll talk about the practical aspects, and we will talk about the application aspects. I've realized that many times people will listen and they don't know what next to do in the context to go to the next level. And so I don't want to leave you hanging. This year, we are taking our time because if you do get the information we're about to learn this year, by the grace of God, your life will not remain the same again. My first few, it's a 5-part series, meaning that part 1 is today, part 2 next week, part 3 the following week, and maybe part 4 and part 5, I will see if I will do it consecutively in that way, or I will bring another topic and complement it on the other side. But I'm going to give you guys the idea so that you'll be expectant, okay? So we are going to be talking about identity. And I will explain to you why identity is very important. Identity is why you are where you are. Identity is why I am where I am. Identity is why you will be where you will be, regardless of whatever you think. Identity. Identity is like a container. If right now, no matter how good the content is, if the packaging or the container is not good, it will affect the content regardless. Are you with me? And so many people will come to me and tell me, Cliff, I've learned everything I need to learn from your masterclass, from other videos. I've read this book and I've done that, and still my life is still getting the same results. And that is because they only took the information and wanted to affect the fruit, not the root. Their actions, not the container, not the identity. And so we are going to be focusing on the next few weeks on identity, because identity is a container. So there are many people listening to me right now, and probably you are a trader and you have learned every strategy that you can come across, but something is still not happening for you yet. You keep on sabotaging your trades. You keep on giving back your money to the market. You keep on making decisions that is not related to what you said you would do. It is not necessarily because you are bad, it's because of the way you are wired that has created that identity that is sabotaging it. And normally people don't get it. So they're like, Cliff, why is it that I've learned this? Is because you have only learned the edge, but you have not become the container that holds that edge. And so no matter what, this is the same concept that makes you understand in order for you to become a millionaire, you need to become a millionaire. So weird, but that is the foundation. In order for you to make millions, you need to become a millionaire so that that container can hold millions. What that simply means, if you give millions to somebody who is not a millionaire yet, they will sabotage themselves for the money to go back to what their container is. That means if you want to put 100 liters of water in a little bottle, which is 5 liters, the bottle may desire the 100 liters, but it cannot contain 100 liters because the bottle is only made for 5 liters. Are you with me? Identity. So we're going to be talking about 5-part series. I'm going to run through quickly. Today we are going to be talking about identity clarity, the ability for you to understand identity well. So my topic today is what is really identity. Then the part 2 of this series will be identity and stagnation, meaning that why people stay stuck even when they want more. So people are listening to me right now, you want more, but you feel stuck. Why? That is the part 2 of this series. Part 3 will be identity collisions. It is what happens when identity meets money, when identity meets a trading account, when identity meets responsibility, when identity meets pressure, and when identity meets success. This is why many people keep on saying, I can't wait to marry this individual. They marry this individual and they don't want to be with this individual anymore. I will tell you why today. You will understand why people have become married men and women, but have never migrated to become husbands and wives, because a husband and a wife is an identity container, not a desire wish you want for yourself. You will understand why many people are doing trading, but they're not getting the results of trading. You are going to understand that in this part series. So now part 3 will be identity collisions. Part 4 will be false identity and performance. The mask versus the core. That is part 4. The mask versus the core. Then part 5, which will be our last part of the series, we'll be talking about identity restructuring. That is where we are going to be very practical in nature. We are going to talk about how identity actually changes without lying. Does that make sense? So I'm going to run through it quickly again. Part 1, identity clarity, which is what we're doing today. What is really identity? Part 2 will be identity and stagnation. Part 3 will be identity collisions, meaning that when identity meets certain things, what happens? Part 4 will be false identity and performance. And part 5 will be identity restructuring at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I want you to be able to know that after we are done with this series, my goal is that, number 1, your identity will be on the right path, going to your destination, and you'll be able to start becoming disciplined without forcing yourself. And then you will be able to execute without sabotaging, and your results will be a consequence and a byproduct of this knowledge. If you are ready to learn, I'm ready to teach. Drop some number ones in the comment section right now, wherever you are, on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We are about to start our newly year series. I titled this the Identity Series. Part 1 today is what is really identity. What is really identity? What is really identity? Before I came on today, I wanted to do something quickly. So I'm going to talk to Solomon. Can you bring the thing I sent you for us to bring it up on the screen for me? Thank you. So I'm going to show you guys something right now, something very practical. I want to show you something. Many times, people will keep on confusing certain human stacks with certain things. And I want to first of all explain something to you quickly right now before we go into the more deeper part of the information. You're going to really learn a lot today, okay? So whenever you're ready, Solomon, you bring it up on the screen for me. So the purpose of what I'm about to let you see is this. I want you to watch your screen right now, guys, for me. Okay, so I prepare something to make sure you guys are going to understand this. So as you can see over here, we have identity, we have beliefs, we have habits, we have behavior, and we have results. Don't think that or assume just because the thing is on the screen, you really understand what you're looking at. Please stay with me. Okay, stay with me. It's very important that you stay with me. Now, as you can see, the top there is identity. Identity is who you believe you are. Who you believe you are. So I've categorized this in several actions. Please watch this now. Layer is what I've listed. I will explain everything quickly, then we will go into the topic. What it is, visible or invincible, what it works with, and what it controls. Are you with me? So identity is who you believe you are. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter even if you believe the information you're about to hear today or not. Truly, that is what controls outcome. Identity is who I believe I am. But unfortunately, this layer is invincible. That means I can't see it, and you cannot see it. I'll give you an example of what I mean. Whether I have internet or not, I can say, oh, I have internet. And when it gets to the time I am talking, you may not be able to hear me, and you will say, oh, you are lying. I thought you said you had an internet. And so even though I said I have an internet, you will know that I don't have an internet by the action, by the reaction. Are you with me? So identity is invincible, but you can't deny the fact that it is the container that everything flows out of. The reason why I'm explaining this to you is because people confuse beliefs, personality, habit, and behavior and results with identity. I want to break that thing down first before I start giving you general definitions. We are going to be learning a lot today, but I'm simplifying it to make sure you don't get lost. So identity is who I believe I am. It's invincible, and what it works with is beliefs. And then what it controls is what feels normal, allowed, and possible. Beliefs is what you think is true, not what is true. What you think is true. It is also invincible. And what it works with is identity. It gives meaning, explanations, and expectations. Personality is how you express yourself, or how I express myself. It's semi-visible. What that simply means that you can see it, you may not see it depending on the moment. I will explain all these things. I'm rushing through this, then I will now go into proper case study and explain it to you very well. Personality works with identity plus beliefs. It has tone, it has a style, and it's emotionally expressive. Then we have behavior, what I do in moments, visible, and then it works with habits. Are you with me? Then we have the last one, which is results. Okay, so habits is what you repeat automatically, and it is semi-visible. Identity plus beliefs, your daily rhythm. And then behavior is what you do in the moment, visible, and then it works with habits, and then actions people can see, and then results, what your life shows over time, visible, it works with behavior, and outcomes, evidence, and proof. Now, stay with me. I'm going to let Solomon keep on bringing this over and over again, but I want to tell you guys something right now. Now, watch this. I want to give you a case study, and I want you to understand why identity is important. I really, really hope that this information that you guys are about to hear today, if you understand this, when you log out from this masterclass, you'll be like, wow, finally, this is it. Now, when you know what this is, you will now know what to do to make sure you get the results you're looking for. I'm going to give you a simple case study, and I want you to pay attention now. We can keep on bringing the information up on the screen when I'm talking. I want to pick up the first one, the container, the identity. I am not teaching and expressing the identity. I want to give you the difference between these things. So a lot of people confuse identity and have behavior, so they don't know what to change. I want to give it to you very well clean today. This case study came out of when I was writing my book. You are not a trader yet, which, by the way, I will give an announcement about that when I'm almost done. The chapter 1 is about old identity, and I was very vulnerable in that chapter. Very vulnerable. I spoke about where I grew up, how I grew up, what affected me growing up, addictions and stuff like that in the chapter 1. And this case study, you guys, I'm about to use as an example to explain the table I showed you now. I want you to understand this carefully now. I am not trying to tell you that I have become a saint now or whatever, but it is a case study I had to face to write the chapter 1 of the book. And I want to use it to explain something to you guys, that this is what happens when you understand the information we're about to talk about. So I gave it during those days. This was a case study of an individual who grew up from an environment that, you didn't really find people always, being there for you, even though people were around you. It was not your fault, neither was it theirs. It was the environment. And so it wired a certain individual I am today before I even transform out of that. And I'm still transforming, because in life, remember what I told you, you unlearn, you relearn, and you keep learning. And so this case study was something that I had to come into reality check with. Because in order for the book, chapter 1 should have been great, I needed to be very honest with myself and say, Cliff, how did you come out? Where did you come out of? And what can you tell people to learn from your years of transformation? So let's pick up the identity. So if my identity those days was, and still probably, let's say, let me make it present tense so that you understand the context well. So let's say my identity is I am someone who has to struggle and get things and carry things alone or get things done alone because of the way I grew up. So the way I grew up, I grew up in such a way that, and you will read it all in my book, I grew up in such a way that, I was the kind of person, I was always quiet. Even if I want something, I don't say it, I don't talk about it. I just basically will just keep quiet and keep it to myself. So if that is my identity or that was my identity, then it's something that I will believe that is who I am. So it's like, don't worry, nobody is even going to come and help you anyway. So I am someone who struggle. And some people may be listening to me right now, and this may be you. So I'm going to make a present tense, not past tense, to make it look like I'm talking about the past, but I'm going to make the sentences sound present. So I am someone who has to struggle and carry things alone. This is not something I will say out loud, but it's something that I will feel normal to me. So I will wake up in the morning. I am not expecting anybody to help me. So all my thought pattern is, how can I struggle today alone and carry things on my own? It's an identity. It doesn't have to be negative or positive. Remember, it is the container forming. Are you guys with me? And then when you now find the identity, the next thing that makes the identity logical is beliefs. I really hope you guys are going to get this. So I'm teaching you the layers of how there is a result in your life, like how outcomes appear in your life. So the first thing is identity. So I can have the identity of somebody who don't believe that I can mount up to anything. And then I want to go and trade. So I can learn the trading, I can learn the skill set. But before you could realize, you are not getting the results because you don't believe you can even make it. It's an identity. But let's stick with the first identity case study I'm giving you here before we go into the identity conversation. Are you guys with me? So what are we talking about today? What is really identity? But I want to bring the clarity on the fact that identity is not beliefs. Belief is not personality. Personality is not habit. Habit is not behavior. They are all different things coming together as your human stack that gives you an outcome. I'm going to repeat this again. Identity is not beliefs. Beliefs is not identity. Personality is not identity. Identity is not personality. But all these things comes together as your human stack that basically makes you who you are. So identity is the container, the bottle, the glass of this. In this glass, there can be beliefs, which is sugar, personality, which is water, habit, which may be Ovaltine or coffee, behavior, which may be milk, but they are all inside this cup. It doesn't necessarily mean that beliefs is the cup, but the belief is in the cup. You guys, it is important you understand this way I am moving so that you will not get confused about the topic. So identity is the container. Beliefs is found in the container. Just like how, so if I make a beautiful tea right now and I'm drinking and this is very juicy and very nice, it is all in the container. It makes it one now. So if somebody is buying this cup of tea, I don't just put my hand in and give it to them. I give them all. So identity comes with every single thing inside it. But unfortunately, if a container is dirty, if you give this thing to somebody, no matter how nice the tea is, it will sabotage the tea. If you are learning, drop some number ones in the chat. Are you with me now? So identity is what you believe you are. So if I believe I am someone who struggle and carry things alone, it came from somewhere, but it is what I believe about myself. And then right after that, we now go to the actual beliefs. The way you feel about yourself has changed. It doesn't have to be true that you believe it or not, but it is there. Then belief, it is what gives explanations to the identity. I will explain what I mean by that. So if I am like someone who believes that I struggle alone and carry things alone, then my belief system will be people are not helpers. Are you with me? That will be my belief system. People are not helpers. People don't like helping anybody. It's my belief, but I am wrong. But that is my belief. It doesn't change the fact that I believe that. But it is what supports my identity. So if I am sitting down and somebody goes like, man, Cliff, human beings are very nice. They can help you. I'm like, I don't think so. Human beings don't help people. But it is my beliefs. The purpose of the belief is to support the identity, to make it logical. So if you and I are talking, we can argue about why people don't help people. But because you also grew up in an environment that people help people, you don't see what I am seeing. So your belief system and my belief system is different because it's coming from separate identities. If you guys understand what I'm teaching today, you will really understand why certain things are happening to you. Remember, we are learning mental transformation here. That means while you are writing things down, you are going to apply it to your analysis in your life. So now when somebody says, I don't know who I am, I will explain how to know what your identity is. Just wait for me. But then right now you understand the difference now. So identity is basically, you telling this, it's not something you feel, it's like, it's the container. It is how you feel about yourself in your head. It doesn't matter. Then the beliefs, the things you think about things. So let's say, for example, you are somebody that you believe money doesn't come to you easy because you heard things like money doesn't grow on trees. You think money is everywhere. You heard those things growing up. And so right now you think it is not easy to get money. So when you are with people, your belief system is money the way it is, it doesn't come easy. So when you get it, be careful. That is how you speak. But the person who grew up in somewhere in Ajman or Sharjah or somewhere in Dubai or somewhere in Abu Dhabi, that individual is not thinking the same way you are thinking because their mindset and the way you see life is different. He or she didn't grow up in a way whereby money was being told that it doesn't grow on trees. In fact, to him, money is nothing. Give it, it will come back. So while you are cracking jokes, being anxious about your belief system, his belief system is different because their identity is different. Are you with me? So belief is what gives logical reasoning to your identity. Then personality. Personality is what styles the identity. I call personality the PR of your identity. You know, a PR, the public relation manager, their job is not to tell the truth. Their job is to make anything that you are and what you think you should be to be able to make sense for the public. So what that simply means is that if somebody goes to, let's say, a gathering, and maybe let's say that, or let's say, let me keep on sticking to the case study here. Number one, follow me now. Somebody who believes they struggle alone and carry everything alone. Their belief system is people don't help you. So anywhere he goes or anywhere I go, I'm not looking for helpers. I'm looking for people who don't help. Are you with me now? So that when they confirm that they don't help, it confirms my belief system to be logical. But even if I go to a place and people help, because my mindset and my belief system is saying people will always leave you and people don't help, my mindset is not searching for helpers. It's still searching for the people who will not help. So even if somebody is going to help, in my mind, they won't help. Are you with me? Belief. Then the personality will be like this. Cliff, do you need anything? No. But I may need. But the reason why I'm saying no is because I'm afraid the individual will disappoint me. So the personality is going to say no. Now that personality saying no, people will look at me and be like, Cliff, he is calm. Cliff is quiet. Cliff is thoughtful. So when I was growing up, they always used to tell me I'm a quiet type. The people, if some of my family members see that I'm speaking like the way I'm speaking now, they'll be like, no way, this guy is speaking now. Because they used to think that I was a timid kid, quiet because I didn't like talking. So that was a personality coming from an identity of believing that anything I ask my family, I don't get it. So what is the point? Are you with me? So personality styles the identity. It is what makes you look good in public. Oh, he is quiet. Oh, he is thoughtful. Oh, he is responsible. Not because you are responsible, because you will rather appear to be responsible than to ask for help. Oh, he's emotionally internal. He doesn't like to speak. Have you heard people sometimes saying, for me, I don't like to talk too much? No, it is your personality protecting an identity because your personality is your PR to identity. Are you with me? Very important that you understand this. And so the personality will be quiet. And the same personality can also showcase differently. That when you now help me, I'll be like, why did you help me? I didn't ask for your help. Then the person will be like, Cliff, he is crazy. So the craziness now will be a personality to you. So within one identity, you can find multiple personalities, but a personality is what styles the identity. Then we have habits. So if this individual's identity is people don't help me, I carry things alone, the belief system was people don't help. The personality will be quiet, emotionally internal, doesn't like to talk, doesn't like to ask for help. That is the personality. So people will think he's responsible, he's a quiet type, but it's a personality protecting and beautifying an identity. Are you with me? Then the habits will be pushing through tiredness. That means when I am tired, instead of me resting, I wouldn't rest, because resting will feel not normal to my identity, because I need to do it and finish it and do it again and finish it, because if I stop, nobody is going to help me. Remember, it is my belief system. It doesn't mean it's true. So that is my habit. So my habit, what is a habit? A habit is something you do repeatedly over and over again until it becomes automated. So let's say you are handling problems alone every single day, it becomes your habit. So if somebody wants to extend their hand, you cannot accept it because you have been doing it on your own for so long, it has built a habit. Now, habit is a formation. Habits is when your identity and your belief system comes together. What you like to do, it's automated to make sure you don't need to even burn energy to do that thing over and over again. Then we have behavior. What is the difference between behavior and habit? On a normal day, behavior is what you will see like this. You will see me working hard. It's my behavior. Now, working hard is not bad, but that is where you will get working hard from. That is why majority of the people who are mostly highly successful, they are people that come from mostly dysfunctional homes that transform their lives. People that mostly, had a hard time growing up. Probably they went to jail and they came out, whatever one, or you can see some certain traits, because the fact that they work hard does not mean that is how it was supposed to be. It just means that is how it is for them now. Are you with me? So the behavior will be working hard even when the person is exhausted. The behavior will be avoiding delegation. That is something that I struggled with, and it's something I still struggle with. I don't like to delegate. If somebody wants to help me do something, I don't want to delegate it to the individual. Why? Because delegation feels unusual for me. I have trust issues. So because growing up, you can tell that people probably will always leave. They will not give you what you want. So there may be trust issues. It doesn't make you less of a person. It makes you an honest individual who understands what will affect you and could affect you. And so the number 5 is behavior, and number 6 is results. The results is what proves the identity. So if somebody is saying, Cliff, for me, I don't think my identity is this and that, it is not about what you say, it's about what you have. If we look at your life and the results is clear, we can tell this is your identity. Are you guys with me? I wanted to first of all brainstorm with you guys for you guys to understand that beliefs is different from identity. Identity is different from beliefs. Personality is different. Habit is different. Behavior is different. Results is also different. It is the outcome of all these things. But identity is the container. Out of it flows every single thing you will see in a man's life. So identity is your self-belief system about yourself. Beliefs that you have, not your belief system about yourself, the belief you have in the world. What you believe about the world. The way you see life through your identity structure is what protects the identity. Personality is what beautifies or showcase what your belief system is in front of people. Habit is what you are going to do over and over again to keep supporting that belief system and the habit to make sure it is automated. Why does habit needs to be automated? I have explained this to you guys. It's because your brain loves to conserve energy. So your brain doesn't want to always think to do something new. So whenever you're doing something over and over again, your brain preserve and automate that so that you don't have to do it again newly. Then from habits, you go to behavior. Behavior is basically on a normal day, how things shows up in your life. So if you are somebody that you are here and people are like, yo, this guy, he doesn't like smiling, and they see you all the time like that, they can tell this is his behavior based on the personality and the habit the individual have in his life. This person works hard. It's a behavior coming from an identity. It may be healthy, unhealthy, it doesn't matter. The purpose of this case study is not to define an unhealthy identity, it's to show you what an identity is. So there are an identity that leads to success. There are ones that you will be successful, but you will sabotage it. They are all identities. Unfortunately, it is not your fault. It is not people's fault. It is the way the society and the environment wires individuals. And we'll talk about how identity is formed. But then if I've been able to do this on a beautiful day for you to understand what the table wanted to mean for you, I hope you guys understand it now. In the contrary, on the context here is that identity is invincible, beliefs is invincible, personality is semi-visible, habits is semi-visible, behavior is visible, you can see it, but results are visible, you can see it. But in the purpose of all this that I'm explaining, the main thing we are talking about today is what is really then identity, if it is the container. If you guys are flowing with me, let me go into the into the chat session to make sure you guys are fine. Are you with me? This is important, even if this is where I end today and we'll do part 2 next week, that is fine, but we are just starting. But I want you to be able to understand what I mean. Do you guys understand? Are you enjoying yourself and learning? So it is important. So now you are going to understand why you make money and you give it back to the market. You get an opportunity and you sabotage it. It is not your fault. It is a wiring. And when you understand this topic today, you will know, you will be able to tolerate men. You will be able to tolerate human beings because you will know that everybody is dealing with their own identity and transformation is happening for people individually. So today, what is really identity? I'm going to give you guys 4 definitions. This is a masterclass. Don't be tired writing. 4 definitions. 4 definitions. Definition number 1. I call that the functional definition of identity. Identity is the internal structure that determines how a person consistently thinks, reacts, and behaves, especially under pressure. This one right here is very important definition for me because, Cliff, how do I know who I am? Well, because identity is invincible, it only shows when actionable steps are being taken. That means if sometimes I go on a call with people and when I'm talking to them during the consultation, you know, I'll be talking to them and they'll be hearing some noises at their background. And maybe they'll, you know, when they are talking to me, they'll be like, you know, because it's the first time they are seeing me, so they'll be like, oh, Cliff, you know, how are you doing, Cliff? This and this and this and that. And during the consultation, because I was talking to one individual a few days, I think 2 days ago, and then we were talking about this, and I was telling him to explain to him what identity really is in this context. So you will see that I'm talking to the individual, and somebody will make a noise at the background, and the person who few seconds is like, oh, Cliff, you know, thank you so much for the opportunity. So they'll be hearing noise, maybe a door, just making noise. And the person just turns and be like, what are you doing? And the person now turns and be like, okay, yeah, Cliff, I'm sorry. I'm like, okay, that one is who you are. This is personality, packaging the moment to talk to Cliff. But it doesn't mean the person is bad. It's just that is the way they are wired. When they are irritated, they react. Are you with me? So definition number 1 is identity is the internal structure that determines how a person consistently thinks, reacts, and behaves. But this is not what makes the definition complete, especially under pressure. Underline that. Especially under pressure. Especially under pressure. Definition number 1. Identity is the internal structure that determines how a person consistently thinks, reacts, and behaves, especially under pressure. If you're on Instagram, are you learning? Facebook, are you learning? YouTube, are you learning? Because there are people also who watch this with also other people in their rooms together as traders and friends. If you guys are watching, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you are learning. What are we talking about? What is really identity? Definition number 1, identity is the internal structure that determines how a person consistently thinks, reacts, behaves, especially under pressure. Definition number 2, identity is your default self. The word default, please underline that. Default simply means if everything goes back to normal, you go back to that position. That means you can package yourself, your personality can show. I can come here and say, oh, at the end of the day, I like Nigerian jollof. Eventually it will show, you know, it will show. It will show if you truly love Nigeria. I'm kidding. Anyway, so identity is your default self. Identity is your default self. Who you are when motivation is gone, who you are when nobody is watching, who you are when things are uncomfortable, who you are when life applies pressure. So you will notice in my book, there is a part where I spoke about my addiction days. And the reason why the addiction was formed was because I was looking for closure. I was looking for something, a meaning, affection. And so that made me ended up being addicted to, adult content. And that affected me for a very long time, because when nobody was watching, that was the place where I went to get closure. So that's why it lasted for a while. But at the end of the day, God being so good by the grace of God, delivered now, done and dusted by the grace of God. But I want you to understand something right now, that it is second definition also is that identity is your default self. Third definition is that identity is the system that decides what feels normal, possible, or threatening to you. Third definition is that identity is the system that decides what feels normal, possible, or threatening to you. Identity is the system that decides what feels normal, possible, or threatening to you. TP family. I really appreciate you guys always for staying, okay? It's not easy to stay for hours to listen to, especially in this age that we live in. Thank you for your destiny and your life for being serious. Really, believe me. All right, then. Definition number 3. I just saw the number of people on the live, and I just wanted to say thank you for staying. All right. Definition number 3 is identity is a system that decides what feels normal, possible, or threatening to you. Some people fear peace. Some people sabotage a success. Some people live comfortably in struggle. It's also an identity. So it decides what feels normal. It doesn't matter. That is why somebody can be addicted to substance and they don't know why they should stop, because that is what they like. Are you with me? It gives them peace. It gives them some level of something, but it has been connected to the identity now, or the identity is connected to that. Definition number 4, the last one, is that identity is what your life keeps proving about you, not what you say about yourself. So identity also is what your life keeps proving about you, not what you say about yourself. Identity is what life keeps on proving about you, not what you say about yourself. Now, we already established the point that identity is like a container. And so I've already explained that to you. So I hope that that gives you the understanding of the context. So just like this cup of water that I'm talking about, if in this cup there is a tea bag, a bag of sugar, or maybe a spoon of sugar in it, there is milk, there is hot water, whatever, you may not see it. But at the end of the day, if this container is beautiful, well structured, and even if it's branded and it says coffee, automatically it tells you that this is coffee. The same way, even if I have this cup of water here, supposedly, and there is tea in here, and then the container says dichlorodiphenyl trichloroethane, which is in short form DDT, you will basically not drink this regardless, even if the tea is sweet. The reason why you will not drink this is because you are afraid, what if it is actually not coffee or tea, but it's actually DDT inside? So the container changes a lot about everything that flows out of it. Very important that you understand that. So when life pours more into you than your identity can contain, you will now sabotage it. So there are certain amount of money people will make in trading and they will never sabotage that. But there is an amount of money when they make, they will end up sabotaging. And they are saying, I don't know why I give the money back. Well, I know why. Is because yourself doesn't feel comfortable with that profit. And so the best way to feel comfortable, you don't have to believe it. It is the way how principles work. You will give it back. That is why people sometimes will sabotage relationships that makes them happy, not because they don't like the individual. It's just that the relationship gives them too much peace. And so they need to create something to make sure the relationship is not peaceful anymore. It doesn't mean that they are bad. It just means that it is the way your identity works. When you read a book, you will understand a lot of things, basically. And so the container is the identity, and out of it, everything flows out of. Does that make sense? Now, how many types of identities do we have? Remember, this is a 5-part series. What I'm doing now is to give you the foundational meaning of identity. It's very important that you understand this. So there are 2 types of identities we have. There are many, but I'm going to give you primarily 2. Okay, there are a lot, but I'm going to give you 2. I'm focusing on today on the survival identity and the growth or functional identity. So the survival identity is a type of identity that is formed to cope, to protect, to avoid pain, to stay safe. It is built in response to environment, fear, lack, and instability. Now, a survival identity is not evil. It just limits progress. That is it. An individual who has a survival mindset, they are not evil. They don't create evil. They are going to progress from time to time again, but their progress will be limited. Sometimes it will have limits. You will see that they are going, and because they have a survival mindset, they either sabotage the progress or something delays it for no reason. Example here will be the person thinking they are always struggling, they are needing urgency to function. The person is always avoiding responsibility. It is coming out of identity. And this is very important that you understand this. And that is why if you did the retreat, and by the way, I will comment on the retreat later down the line. I know I got some emails and I will explain to you why it was like that. But if you did the retreat, you will understand the part of the question that was connected to the identity. It will make you understand a lot of things about why those questions were like that. Okay. And so survival identity is number 1. Number 2 is growth or functional identity. It is a type of identity that is built to handle responsibility, tolerate pressure, and then sustain consistency and grow without collapsing. And so if the identity is structured and connected to growth, so for me right now, I used to be in the survival identity, and I am now in the growth identity. That means now I understand that I'm going to have to keep on growing every single time. So whatever happens in my life, I always quickly learn from it to keep on growing. That has become an identity. It teaches me on how to keep on growing every day. So I always used to say this, that as an individual, I believe that if you are who you were 3 months ago, it is a big problem. So every single 3 months, you measure if you are growing or not. So I call that the growth or functional identity. So it is a type of identity that starts to learn how to become under pressure. Because remember, our definition number 1 says that identity is it's when how the person thinks consistently, reacts, and behave, especially under pressure. So it is very important that you understand under pressure is not just a sentence. It is a keyword that helps to expose who an individual really is. And so now that we understand how identity is, I gave you the table to explain. I've given you the 2 primary types of identities that we are focusing on now, which is survival identity and then growth identity. Then the next thing I want to talk about right now is how these identities are formed. This is very, very important. How are they formed? The first one on my list is environment. The way where you grew up, how you grew up, the institution, the home, the place you grew up. Very important. It is very important. When one time I was, I think before the masterclass in Ghana, I was driving, I was going somewhere, and the one of those street hawkers, they came near the car, and the guy wanted money from me. And when he came near the car, he was declaring over me. And for me, I understand the power of the things he's saying. It doesn't matter whether he believes it or not. But the guy just started declaring over me. He said, your tomorrow will be always better than your today. I'm like, what? Amen. In my mind, I was just receiving it. He was like, you will see 10 times better life. I said, amen. And I was just receiving it. I was just in the car, just watching the dude. And I was like, and so when I moved the car out of the traffic light, and while I was going, I was just reflecting, and I was talking to my wife, and I was like, this is very interesting, because imagine if this individual actually believed. Now, he was trying to get money from me. I get that. So he's trying to say whatever I want to hear. The words he is declaring is so powerful that if he believed the things he was saying, and he was actually telling himself that, it will actually transform his mindset and transform his life. But you see, because his identity is just do whatever somebody wants to hear and then take whatever you can get from them, he is declaring over me the same thing he needs to declare over himself every morning to transform his life. My God. So this guy is standing near my car and he's like, your tomorrow will always be better than your today. I'm like, my God, does he know the things he's saying? Imagine if this guy wakes up every morning, even if he wants to keep on going to the street because that is the only thing he has now, no problem. But wake up in the morning, wherever he wakes up from, my tomorrow will be better than my today. And the guy is declaring. But you see, he will never declare over himself because his identity believes for him, the only way he will survive is to say things to people what they want to hear, to survive, survival identity. Guys, this is powerful. When you understand identity, you will not be angry at people anymore. And this is a perfect example. When I was thinking about that individual, I was like, wow, does he know the things he's saying is part of the recipe that changes a man's life? Even if I tell him now, he will not believe it because the way he is using that as a tool is to get what he wants, not to change his life. So he wants me to give him money to change his life. But he is declaring over me the things that change his life. But he's looking for things from me to change his life by abusing the mechanics. Powerful. So environment and this kind of behavior came from the way he grew up. It came from the way and the people he knows, the 4 people he's hanging out with. That is how they think. Oh, when you see people like this, tell them, pray for them. But the person will not pray for themselves. Number 1 is environment. Number 2 is authority and reinforcement. How these identities are formed. Number 1, environment. Number 2, authority and reinforcement. What got rewarded is what sticks. So let's say if you grew up in Ghana, the person that is able to lie, let me put it in a new context. If your parents tell you, go and tell auntie I'm not available, and you are able to do that well, you are lying. But if you're able to lie well for your parents or your mother or your auntie, they will be like, oh, you are smart, you are smart. You're a very smart guy. How did you know how to get the person out of the way? I sometimes watch you, mommy, when you tell people that you are not there, there is a way you make your face and say, so I saw it. Wow, smart kid, rewarded. So this same kid now gets the opportunity to be in the parliament, and the nation is wondering, how are you such a crook? Well, the person is a crook because they train you to be a crook. So you got rewarded for lying well for your parents, for your family members. And so you know how to lie, you know how to escape, consequences. And so authority and reinforcement, people above you saying congratulations for doing something that wasn't right, all right, reinforces identity. Are you with me? So the things that you got punished for, the same way that same individual, and the person goes to the visitor and say, mommy said I should tell you she is not there, because the kid didn't lie well, the kid will get punished. Those days it was not really flogging, but you would get the finger on the forehead. And so when you get a finger on your forehead as a kid, you know it's that, wow, I didn't lie well. Okay, so I should have lied well. Okay. Punishment, identity, reinforcement. Are you with me? So number 1 is environment. Number 2 is authority and reinforcement. Number 3 is pain and survival decisions. So let's say somebody has struggled their whole life. All they know is struggle. Like the individual I was telling you about, the street hawker. If all he knows is struggle, that is his identity. Nobody has been there for him. He's always struggling. I must not rely on anyone. He doesn't care about you. He's trying to survive. That individual like that, he learned from pain and survival decisions. So that's the same way when you hear other women, saying that, men, when they get their heart broken and they go like, men are dogs, They don't make it relative, they make it generic. Men are dogs. I was talking to one of the people, and I said, when I hear people saying men are dogs, maybe they are forgetting that their parents, their fathers also is a man. So in that context, you are wondering if they think their dad is a multi-pool or a chihuahua. What are they saying? What do they mean by men are dogs? Your experience has shaped a painful experience for you, but you cannot classify that and say because one man broke your heart or two or three or four broke your heart simply means that all men are dogs. It doesn't work like that. So pain and survival decisions also create an identity within an individual. And then that pain will not create identity decisions that will make you think that you always must struggle to get things. It doesn't work like that. So these decisions were made to survive, not to succeed. Does that make sense? So you need to survive. At the end of the day, in order for it to make you, I just thought about something very humorous, but I'm gonna leave that for the day. It's fine. It's funny. But number 4, how is these identities formed? So number 1 is environment. Number 2, authority and reinforcement. Number 3, pain and survival decisions. Number 4 is repetition without awareness. And so what you repeat long enough start to feel like this is just who I am. And so nobody really taught us about the power of awareness and reflection, right? That is why it was very important that we did the reflection we did in 2025, entering 2026 as TP family members. And over almost 200 people did the retreat. And some people started, some people didn't finish. But even if you started and you didn't finish, I will still say congratulations to you, because I believe this is the first time you actually wanted to do something. Some people also started, and probably maybe after a glitch or so they paused. But majority, almost 80% of people finished the retreat, and it was beautiful. And so this alone shows you that reflection is important. And so when you are repeating something over and over again without awareness, before you can realize, it is creating an identity in your life. Now, the next thing that we are doing today is I want you to understand something right now. In the beginning, I told you that this is a 5-part series. And what we are doing today is I'm introducing identity for you to become aware of it. First of all, I started by explaining that identity is not beliefs. Beliefs is what makes your identity logical. Beliefs are not personalities. Your personality is what beautifies your identity or PR it. Then your habit is what you are doing over and over again. Your brain will automate that to make sure you do it by default. Then behavior is the way we can tell how you truly are in public. Then the results will follow. The purpose of that was to let you understand, don't confuse these human stacks. They are human stacks, and all of them coming together forms an individual and give certain results to this individual. So I gave an example like this container. What is in this cup is the content, but this is the container. And the container, no matter how beautiful it is, even if there is a beautiful tea in this cup and this container is written here poison, it automatically destroys the content. So the identity is a container. So then I move from there and I explain different type of definitions we have over when it comes to identity. And I said, underline few certain words. One of them was especially under pressure. So if you are here and you are wondering, Cliff, how do I know who I am really? I will just tell you, start studying yourself when pressure arises, when motivation vanishes. That is why when you come on this call and I teach you like this and you feel an inspiration and you feel motivated, you are like, let's go. After 2-3 weeks, the motivation goes away, your identity takes over. Does that make sense? You are like, okay, I have blown my account. Now I'm going to be serious. Identity will take over eventually when the motivation dies out. So every single time you are under pressure, the way you behave is who you are. And then I came down and I explained there are 2 types of right now identity we are focusing on. One is a survival identity, and we have one as the growth identity. Both of them all come from your environment, the things you were rewarded for, the authority space, the reinforcement space you grew up in, and then at the end of the day, the kind of repetition you did, and that is what forms the identity. Today, I'm not going to really give you specific identities right now, but this is the foundation to start the series. So stay with me. Then now, the reason why we are talking about all this is so that you will become aware of identity, because identity controls consistency. Do you want to be consistent in your life? If that is the answer, then you need to know what controls it. Do you want to be disciplined? Cliff, I don't know why I'm not disciplined. You truly want to be disciplined? Then you need to understand the identity part of what controls discipline. Because being disciplined, it's not about doing what you want to do over and over again. Discipline definition is doing something over and over and over again, regardless whether you like it or not, until the definition of discipline exists in your context. So discipline to me, in one word, we have talked about this, that discipline to me is conviction. What that simply means is that 1 minute, this guy is living large, enjoying his life because he believes life is all about enjoyment. Then they go to the hospital and they tell them, if you don't start being active and changing your identity, you will die early. This person now start going to the gym every single day, not because the person has become better in being disciplined. Conviction has entered his head. Now he's doing what he doesn't want to do, but he wants to live long. Are you with me? So if you want to be disciplined, identity is the controller. You want to have a good money behavior, identity is the controller. You want your relationship to be healthy, identity is the controller. You want your success ceiling to open, identity is the controller. Without identity awareness, you will try harder and still fail. You will change strategies but repeat outcomes. You will make the money, but you will sabotage the results. So what awareness does in this context of what we are talking about, awareness does not change in identity immediately. Awareness exposes patterns. So during this part series, what we are going to be doing is that you're going to be seeing pattern awareness. So I'm going to be creating certain small programs in between these series on the website. You will go, you will feel it, it will give you some certain ideas and be like, oh, okay, I understand this. You will be using some journals to be documenting something to also study you. So I'm going to be giving you guys tools that will help you in this part series to be able to grow and be aware of your identity. Are you guys with me? So being aware will expose some patterns. It will reduce self-deception. If we are not able to dismantle these things, then you cannot be able to shift your identity. Impossible. The ability for you to be honest with yourself is the key. I'm telling you, you were a chicken. You say I'm a lion. No, chief, you were a chicken. Oh, yes, you are right. I'm a chicken now pretending to be a lion. There is no shame about it. Are you with me? So it is very important that you understand that during this part, you need to be very honest with yourself. And so exposes patterns, reduces self-deception, explains repetition, and creates responsibility. Now, when you are able to understand it from this context, every single thing changes. So let me now bring the context now into this space for you to understand. Number one, when we talk about identity, you need to be able to understand it is a container. And in every single container, the first thing that you look at is the label. So there is a way that you have been labeled right now internally in your mind. You don't need to say it out loud, but it is there. If right now I am holding this cup and this cup is written here, DDT or a poison, if I cover it, it doesn't change the fact that this is still a poison. Are you with me? So you can cover the identity, but internally it doesn't change the outcome it will bring, because you will find a belief system that will support that identity. Very, very important that you understand the context of this. And so while we have been able to understand, okay, this is where we are going with this, the next thing is that we are going to move into identity and stagnation. That is where you're going to understand, why is it that I am still in this trade? There is a video, the team just sent me before I came on this masterclass. I think I will post it probably tomorrow, God willing. It was a trade I held for days, and I think it caught over, if I'm not mistaken, 700 pips or so on the gold trade. And this is the first time ever I'm actually sharing a trade that I took, sharing a chart. If you follow me, you will know I don't like doing that. But I'm not sharing this to show that I took the trade. I'm sharing this for you to understand that holding a trade like this does not come from an angle of a desire alone. It comes from an identity, a self-regulated identity, the ability for you to be regulated and hold the trade. To be able to hold a trade like that, you need to be able to have that understanding. We'll talk about all of that, how it will benefit you this year as a trader and a performer and a businessman and so on and so forth. So the part two will be identity and stagnation. We are going to be talking about why people stay stuck even when they want more. So this space that you are in right now, if you're watching me right now, you are wondering, why is it that I'm going to use trading as an example right now, because majority of you following are traders, obviously. Why is it that from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I am making money. Thursday, Friday, somehow, before I could realize I'm losing all my profit. Mostly when you go into the context of these individuals, they have already hit their target. Already they have hit their target. But you see, the reason being is because part of them does not like peace. If you are an individual that you have been doing things under pressure and under stress every single time all over your life, the reality is when something is starting to feel calm, it is going to be very difficult for you to be able to survive in your account. You will give the money back, not because you want to lose, it's because the way your identity is built in such a way that peace doesn't feel normal to you. So when you don't feel like there isn't stress around, you will create the stress. It's coming from an identity. And so you can have the perfect strategy, you can have the amazing strategy, you can even go and watch videos to be motivated to even apply a strategy. But remember, the person who is getting those results with a strategy is different from the person behind the strategy in this context. So it is very important that you understand that this year, if you want to become a different individual, today I made a decision not to go deeper, because if I go deeper today, it will confuse you, because we're going to take it one by one. Today's point was for you to understand that in order for you to have a new status, in order for you to get your mindset transformed to become the individual who can make results and keep results, then something needs to happen to your identity. But your identity is not something bad or good. It's something that is wired in you internally to feel the way you feel. And if this is true, then we need to know what those patterns are. So if you are somebody that you keep on sabotaging yourself, then you need to know your identity is coming from a survival mindset. In that context, what do I need to do and know and change and refill my life with a positive outcome? This is the information that I'm trying to pass across today. Are you with me? So it will make you understand, listen, in few years back, this is what I was doing. Now I want to do something else. There are people right now, it is impossible for them to be positive in their life. The only time that they are positive is when they are basically talking about what somebody else have done positively, but they can't say it to themselves. Just like the gentleman I was talking about on the street. So if you are here and you struggle to be positive, you struggle to do certain things, then you should know that it's coming from a container. It is not just about you putting blame on something or whatever. You need to understand that this is the way life is revealing the individual I am. When you are able to focus, this year, listen to me, guys. This year, focus on you. When I say focus, I'm talking about being selfish. Focus on you. That means be able to look at yourself and say, you know what? This is what I want to change. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to see. Focus on that. Become transformed in a way that you know it in your heart. This was me then. This is me now. And so in this part series, this 5-part series, if now that you are joining, we are doing a 5-part series. And this series is, I titled it the Identity series. Part 1 is what we're talking about, the foundation of what is really identity. That we have come to realize that identity is a container. All the things that I was saying in this topic, the most important part to get this is the analogy of the cup. That's it. If you get it, that is all that I wanted to do. Then part 2, which is next week, God willing, we'll be talking about identity and stagnation. Why people stay stuck even when they want more. Then we'll continue part 3, so on and so forth. Now, many people are asking me, Cliff, where could we have gotten your book? Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit something to connect to this topic we are learning. So when I wrote the book has been done. You guys already know this. I wanted to release it on the 13th, but I learned something about myself. I realized that it's one thing to write a book and it's one thing to become an author. To become an author is not about writing a book. To become an author is a transition from writing to ownership of thoughts being packaged in a book. And there are certain information you need to know. So people were asking me, Cliff, when are you releasing the book? When are you releasing the book? I wasn't comfortable releasing the book then because I felt like identity-wise, things were not ready. But if you put me in the midst of other authors, I was going to look like an amateur. And that is fine. Everybody starts from somewhere. But the process that we went through and the process I went through
to be able to understand the process of releasing the book gave me certain knowledge, gave me certain mindset that now if I sit near somebody who is a professional author who have been writing book for many years, I may not be like them, but they will know that truly welcome into the space of an author. So writing the book alone doesn't automatically make you an author. There is an experience. For example, when we were trying to format the book, there are certain things I learned. I was like, wow, you don't just even write a book and just publish it. You need to actually take it to somewhere, Amazon. If you want to just release it, that is normal. But if you want to actually go through the proper route of getting ISBN or getting it copyrighted, there are certain things you need to do. By the time I was done with all of this, it gave me another perception and another identity structure. So now I was happy. I was like, okay, finally, not because I didn't want to release it, but I think it was needed to go through that transformation. Now, finally, the book is on the website, Cheqona.com. If you go there and you go to the TP shop, you will see the book is right there. If you want to read it, you can go get it and go read it. This is the first official. I have different books, but this is the official book that I will say that I'm releasing to the community. Go get it. You can, right now, currently, it's only on just Amazon. So you can go and get it on Amazon, but you can go through our website and it will take you straight to or you can go to Amazon and search "You Are Not a Trader Yet," and basically you will get this book. Now, the purpose of why I'm telling you to go get this book is because of the chapter 1, Old Identity. Old Identity. So identity, clarity is what we wanted to do today. What is really identity? I think I've made my point clear. Identity is the container. Anything else that flow out of it, depending on what you feel about yourself, is the way you will behave throughout, from beliefs to your personality, to your habit, to your behavior. Then the consequence, the outcome, the results will be automated. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are ready this year to be able to transform your life practically, spiritually, psychologically, then you don't want to be missing this series. If you miss it, go back and watch the part 1 that we are doing now. When we upload it, the part 2, you will also listen to it again so that you can follow it and make sure you don't miss the context of this. The part 2 is going to be identity and stagnation. Why people stay stuck even when they want more. Number 3 will be identity collisions. This is where I'll be telling you what happens when identity meets money. We'll be going into it deeper. What happens when identity meets responsibility? What happens when identity meets pressure? And what happens when identity meets success? So with that all being said, I want to know if you guys learned something today. Today is our foundational topic to get us initiated into our new status as TP family. So this year truly is the year of our new status. But in order for us to get our status changed, we need to get the internal status aligned, which is what? Your mindset, the perception about yourself, your identity. Are you guys with me? If you guys are learning, drop some number ones in the chat right now. And I want you to get ready so that by the end of this part series, there are many things you are going to be learning. And by the grace of God, if you subscribe to the information, I can assure you that by the grace of God, your life will not remain the same again as a businessman, as a trader, as an entrepreneur, as an individual who wants to see success in their life. So I will see you guys, God willing, next week. And we're going to be tackling the part 2. And I want you guys to get ready because we are going to be doing more tasks and more tools coming for practical things in this masterclass this year. It's a full curriculum, so get ready. What we do, we trade. Trading is a mind game, not necessarily because we say so, but it has tested and it is proven. God bless you all and have an amazing evening. Bye-bye and take care.